curtain is officially open.
The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
It'll be interesting to see where they go. Is it going to be Saquon Barkley, Josh Allen, or Sam Darnold?
My gut's telling me they've got to take a quarterback here, Jack.
With the first pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Cleveland Browns select Sam Darnold, quarterback USC. Darnold is a big, strong, thick, athletic quarterback prospect, and his skills would translate perfectly to the AFC North. While starting 24 games at USC, Darnold accumulated 7,229 yards passing to go along with 57 touchdowns and a completion percentage of 64.9%. Standing at 6'4", Darnold is able to manipulate the pocket, step into his throws, and drive the ball down the field. At this point in the draft process, it sounds like the Browns are trying to decide between Josh Allen, quarterback from Wyoming, and Sam Darnold. While Allen has a very high ceiling, he also has a very low floor. Sam Darnold seems to be the more polished quarterback prospect at this point. If he can correct his turnover habits from USC, Darnold could be the first franchise quarterback that the Browns have had since rejoining the league in 1999.
The New York Giants are now on the clock.
Cleveland goes with the safer of the two picks in Sam Darnold, but he'll need to cut down on his 35 turnovers over the past 2 years if he wants to have success at the next level.
Yeah, if he can get those turnovers down, Jack, he could be a good player in this league, but that's definitely an if.
Hold up.
Oh, we got a trade.
Who's moving up? Somebody's coming to get a quarterback.
The Buffalo
Gotta be a
Bills
Oh, looks like the
are
Bills
now
are moving
on the
up
clock.
here.
Let's see what they've had to give up to make this move. Bills received the second overall pick, the 66th, in exchange for the 12th, 22nd, and 53rd overall.
You know, if they go and get the guy I think they're going to get here, Jack, I like the move. If they go up and get anything other than the quarterback, I don't like it.
With the second pick of the Blitzalytics mock draft, the Buffalo Bills take quarterback Josh Rosen of UCLA. We believe Josh is the best quarterback in this draft class, so once we saw the opportunity that we could go up and select him, we jumped on it. We feel like he's the most pro-ready quarterback, and he can come in and start week 1 if we need him to. We think Josh can make all the throws, the shallow throws, the intermediate throws, and most importantly that deep ball throw, which we feel like that element of our offense was missing last year. We think he can come and elevate that unit and be a leader of that unit as well. Another thing we did think is the Dolphins or the Jets might be targeting a quarterback with their pick in this round. So we wanted to make sure that we jumped up ahead of them, got the guy that we love, and to make sure we didn't face him twice a year. We believe Josh will take us back to the playoffs and eventually bring that Lombardi trophy to Bills Mafia.
The New York Jets are now on the clock.
I like what the Bills did here, Jack. Quarterback was a clear need for this team. They still, they got A.J. McCarron in free agency, but he's a bridge quarterback. I like the most mechanically sound quarterback in this draft.
With the third pick
well.
of the Blitzalytics mock draft, the New York Jets select quarterback Josh Allen of Wyoming. The reason why we took Josh is because we fell in love with him during this whole process. He's a great young kid that wants to win and is very competitive. We think Josh has everything that we want in our quarterback. He has the prototypical size. He has the arm strength where he can just let it rip all the way down the field. And he also has that athletic ability that new age quarterbacks have where he can extend plays with his legs and create things for his receivers. We believe that Josh will correct some of the issues that he does have that he can fix to become a franchise quarterback. And we believe that even though he will come into a quarterback room that will help him become a professional quarterback, he has the competitiveness where he will push McCown for that number 1 slot. We won't rush anything with him, but we cannot wait to see the type of quarterback he'll become at this next level. And we just want to say, welcome to New York, Josh.
The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
I like the pick. The big arm quarterback out of Fireball, California will officially be playing in the Big Apple. It was a great situation for him to be able to go and learn behind QB mentor and journeyman quarterback Josh McCown. We'll see what he can do. If he can correct his footwork and mechanics, he has a limitless potential.
With the 4th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Cleveland Browns select Bradley Chubb, defensive end, North Carolina State. I know many Browns fans are dying for the Browns to select Saquon Barkley with this pick come draft night in April. Barkley is a home run threat to score every single time he touches the ball, and he can do a little bit of everything out of the backfield. Adding dynamic playmakers to this offense should be a priority for this front office. However, Bradley Chubb would be a huge get for the Browns at pick 4. Over his 4-year career at North Carolina State, Bradley Chubb accrued 25 sacks to go along with 54.5 tackles for loss. Adding Bradley Chubb across from Myles Garrett would wreak havoc on NFL lines and quarterbacks for the next decade. The Browns could also look to trade the pick if the team becomes enamored with another quarterback prospect. However, in this draft, no team came with such an offer, and the Browns stayed put and selected Bradley Chubb with the 4th overall pick.
The Denver Broncos are now on the clock.
Cleveland Browns land the best pass rusher in back-to-back years and now have a scary front 7 to go along with their franchise quarterback. Pairing up him and Myles Garrett should strike fear in quarterbacks in the AFC North, Jack.
I like the move. Pass rush wins championships. It's been
Absolutely.
proven.
The 5th pick in the 2018 draft, the Denver Broncos select Saquon Barkley out of Penn State. As the preparation for the draft jumped into high gear in the last 2 to 3 weeks, that was the time where we did all of our mock drafts to see who would be available at what position, that as we were getting our information back. We knew right away that the first 3 picks were going to be quarterbacks, and after that we knew the next 4 through 10 would include players such as Bradley Chubb, Saquon Barkley, Quentin Nelson, Minka Fitzpatrick, to name a few, and in no particular order. When we got to number 5, we were thrilled to see that Saquon Barkley was still on the board, and we jumped at the chance to get a dynamic, multi-dimensional player such as Barkley. He fills needs at several positions. He is a downhill power runner. He can run over, through, and around you. He fills a need as punt returner and kick returner. He is a threat to take it to the distance every time he touches the ball.
The Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock.
After letting go of C.J. Anderson only weeks earlier, John Elway doesn't hesitate to grab the most electrifying and number 1 player on everyone's big board.
With the 6th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select offensive guard Quentin Nelson out of Notre Dame. Nelson is an absolute brawler. He brings energy and power every time he takes the field. He's a phenomenal pass protector and is a wrecking ball in the running game. He will immediately upgrade our offensive line that already includes Ryan Kelly, Anthony Costanzo, Jack Mewhort, and new addition Matt Slauson. We here at the Colts feel like this pick will help propel our offense to become one of the best units in the league. Nelson not only adds an amazing ability on the field, but is also a charismatic and humble man who will bring leadership and guidance to our young locker room. Adding Nelson, we are now better suited to protect our most valuable asset, Andrew Luck. Welcome to the team, Quinn.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now on the clock.
Smart move by Indy to solidify their offensive line. They need to protect their franchise quarterback in Andrew Luck, and Nelson is a year 1 all-pro caliber talent. He is going to pave the way for whatever running back is standing behind him, too. Great pick by Indianapolis.
More important than wins right now is Andrew Luck's health moving forward for Indy. With the 7th overall pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select safety Minka Fitzpatrick out of the University of Alabama. Roll Tide. The franchise feels like we not only filled a position in need, but we also got one of the highest rated players on our draft board. Minka Fitzpatrick is a steal at pick 7. His versatility and tenacity alone will have a huge impact on our defense. One of the most well-rounded safeties to come out of the draft in the past 5 to 10 years. He can cover the slot, out wide, line up against tight ends in man coverage. He can play in the box, and he can even rush the passer off the edge. The addition of Minkah Fitzpatrick to the secondary will not only help the defense, but will have a huge effect on Mike Smith's play calling, giving him a massive advantage when it comes to personnel packages and opposing offenses trying to locate mismatches while on the field, due to the fact that he can play both safety positions, cornerback, and even outside linebacker when asked to. Not only is he an instinctive, ball-hawking, rangy safety, but he's also very passionate about the game and a leader of the locker room. Adding him to a team that already features Gerald McCoy, Levante David, Jason Pierre-Paul, Quan Alexander, and Brent Grimes should equal for a vast improvement compared to last year's 32nd ranked defense.
The Chicago Bears are now on the clock.
What can I say? The Bucs landed their guy, the most versatile defensive player in the entire draft. The Bucs been missing talent on the backside of that defense since the departure of John Lynch.
With the 8th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Chicago Bears select Trumaine Edmonds, linebacker, Virginia Tech. Edmonds, a one-of-a-kind athlete, boasts one of the best combinations of size and speed in this draft. He has an insane ability to track down running backs and wide receivers alike from sideline to sideline. The scariest thing about Edmonds is that he's barely scratching the surface. At only 19 years old, Edmonds is still incredibly young, but remains one of the highest upside players in this draft class. His age does not hinder his understanding of the game and allows him to make huge plays on a regular basis all over the field. He has, to pair with his great size and athleticism, he has experience all over the defense. The Bears see Edmonds as a weapon at linebacker who can cover, defend the run, and be moved to pass rusher in sub packages. Edmonds makes a lot of sense for the Bears because of his youth and their commitment to getting younger at the position, having recently released Jarrell Freeman and Perel McPhee this past offseason. Pairing Edmonds with last year's first-round pick, outside linebacker Leonard Floyd, the Bears will have their linebacking core replenished by these two young players who will be hitting their prime at the same time.
The San Francisco 49ers are now on the clock.
The Bears managed to land one of the most gifted linebackers in this NFL draft, and he's a can't-miss prospect. They just added a future Pro Bowler to their team to pair with Leonard Floyd, and I love the move. Great pick.
With the 9th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Derwin James, safety, Florida State. Derwin James is an absolute freak athlete. He stands at 6'3" and he weighs 211 pounds, and he flies around the field, making plays all over the place. Adding him to the secondary would be a big-time move for the San Francisco 49ers as they begin their big playoff push this season and for years to come. Adding a linebacker like Roquan Smith to pair with, hopefully, Reuben Foster is a definite option as well. However, in his 3 years at Florida State, Derwin James had 186 tackles to go along with 15 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, and 3 interceptions. He would be a big-time get for the 49ers at pick 9.
The Oakland Raiders are now on the clock.
Great move by Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Combo Derwin James and Richard Sherman to add to the secondary for the 49ers should catapult them from the 22nd ranked pass defense for last year. Great move.
I think he could learn a lot from Richard Sherman too. Great move for both of them.
With the 10th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics NFL mock draft, the Oakland Raiders select linebacker Roquan Smith from Georgia. We feel that Roquan is the most natural linebacker in the 2018 draft. While he is a bit undersized, he is a dynamic linebacker. It is imperative that we keep Roquan clean and allow him to use his sideline-to-sideline speed. Not only can he win with his speed, but he is a physical player who loves to slip blocks and deliver a boom to set the tone for his unit. He is smooth in space and good in both man and zone coverage. Roquan is someone that already has a high football IQ and will continue to grow that next to Khalil Mack. Roquan fits well into our young nucleus of players on defense with Mack, Carl Joseph, and Mario Edwards Jr. He is an athletic linebacker who loves to stick his nose in on tackles, fitting the mold of what Coach John Gruden likes. Roquan is someone that we feel can be a plug-and-play difference maker from day one as we continue to build a young, athletic team that can compete and win the AFC West.
The Miami Dolphins are now on the clock.
No denying that the Raiders are excited to land the consensus number one linebacker in this draft. John Gruden has to be ecstatic to put another playmaker in his defense not named Khalil Mack. Gotta love it.
The 11th pick in the NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Baker Mayfield, quarterback out of Oklahoma. We were very excited this Heisman winner was on the board for us at this pick. We look for him to be the future of the franchise. Baker is a very exciting player, and he may be small, but he plays with a lot of heart. Minus the off-the-field issues in the beginning of his career, I think Baker will be a solid young man for this team, and I think he'll bring a lot of excitement to this program. He's an electric quarterback. He can run the ball, he can throw, he can do it all. Reminds me a little bit of a Drew Brees, but he can run a lot better than Brees, obviously. I'm ready to see what kind of excitement Baker can bring to this program, as well as the city of Miami, get people excited about this Miami Dolphins football team. Folks, I believe you have your future of this franchise for many years to come.
The New York Giants are now on the clock.
I'm shocked that Baker Mayfield made it this far down the draft board and the team didn't move up to go grab him. Miami looks extremely wise. They look like geniuses staying put and still being able to get their franchise quarterback at pick 11.
I bet Tannehill's not too excited.
With the 12th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select cornerback Denzel Ward, Ohio State University. We decided to trade down from the number 2 pick with the Buffalo Bills because we believe we have too many holes that need to be filled to just have one first-round pick this year. Getting an extra first-round pick for next year will also be very important because it will give us tons of flexibility to get exactly who we want in the 2019 draft. We were ecstatic that Denzel Ward fell to this pick. Cornerback depth is always important in this league, and Ward has the chance to come in and be an instant starter. He's extremely athletic and has excellent footwork. He's shown the ability to stay step for step with his man throughout the play and can be counted on to play tight coverage. While he does have a smaller frame, he has great ball skills, so he should be able to stay with larger receivers as well. We drafted Eli Apple with our first round pick last year, and if he can bounce back from a down year, we have a chance to have a top young cornerback duo for years to come. We are extremely excited to welcome Denzel Ward to the New York Giants.
The Washington Redskins are now on the clock.
Giants get the draft's best cornerback in Denzel Ward, and this is great because they only have 2 proven cornerbacks on their roster. He's an impressive athlete that can become an immediate starter and provides insurance if the often troubled Eli Apple does not pan out like we saw last year.
With the number 13 pick in the 2018 draft, the Washington Redskins select Calvin Ridley out of the University of Alabama. We knew that we needed a wide receiver, and he was one of the highest wide receivers on our board. He has amazing speed, good body control, and a strong frame, and he can run all the routes. He can play X, Y, slot, and he has the speed to beat the defenders all over the field. We know he had an injury-riddled season in 2017, where his production was limited, but his output showed on film that he can still run all the routes needed to be an NFL receiver, and we hope a lot of good things to come from him. So with the 13th, we are very excited to again announce that with the 13th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Calvin Ridley wide receiver out of University of Alabama.
The Green Bay Packers are now on the clock.
Redskins have been desperate for a wide receiver since the departure of Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon. With Calvin Ridley being the first wide receiver off the board, I expect the run to start happening.
With the 14th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Harold Landry, edge defender from Boston College. Landry is a lightning bolt coming off the edge, and we feel like pairing him with the likes of Clay Matthews and Nick Perry will allow him to learn from some of the best in the game and fine-tune all of his technical skills. We feel like we got a steal in Landry, who's a true top 10 talent in this draft. He can not only rush the passer with extreme speed, but can also be very effective in stopping the run. We feel like Landry can be an instant playmaker for us and take our defense to the next level. Welcome to Titletown, Mr. Landry.
The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock.
No surprise here. In Landry, the Packers are getting an instant impact pass rusher with size and athleticism of a future Pro Bowler. He was the most disruptive player in college football in 2016, and then an injury slowed him down in 2017. Whoa, we got a trade.
More action.
We got some crazy action going on in this draft. People moving left and right. Looks like the Panthers moved up. What do you think they're going to do here, Jack?
Well, I think because of Calvin Ridley, maybe they're looking to go get their guy in a wide receiver, a first, a fourth, a fifth, a seventh, and a fourth and a sixth from next year. Wow. That's a lot. Quite a bit to give up. They must really like somebody here at this position. They basically gave up an entire draft's worth of capital.
Better be worth it.
With the 15th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics NFL mock draft, the Carolina Panthers select wide receiver Christian Kirk from Texas A&M. We feel that Christian is the electric playmaker that we had to trade up and get in this draft. He fits with our scheme of getting weapons that can affect the game in multiple ways. Christian scored touchdowns as a receiver, punt returner, and kick returner. He is a competitor and do whatever he can for the betterment of the team. Christian is quicker than fast, with his best skill being his route running. Combine that with his sturdy frame and solid hands, and he becomes the perfect underneath target for Cam Newton. Christian is the perfect complement to Greg Olsen, Devin Funchess, and Christian McCaffrey as we continue to balance out our offense. We expect Christian Kirk to come in and fill the role that we've been missing since the departure of Ted Ginn Jr. He has the ability to help our team in many ways as we try to repower our offense in the loaded NFC South.
The Baltimore Ravens are now on the clock.
Though I do love Christian Kirk, that was a mighty price to pay. They did go and get a Steve Smith clone to go along with Torrey Smith and Devin Funchess.
With the 16th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Rashaan Evans, linebacker, Alabama. Rashaan Evans is absolutely one of my favorite players that I've broken down in this draft class. He just hits people like a ton of bricks. He doesn't care if it's opposing offensive linemen, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, or tight ends. He just wants to hit the other team. Adding him to this linebacking core would be huge for the Ravens, and I believe Evans would be their best linebacker since Ray Lewis. Many draft pundits believe that they will go with an offensive weapon for Joe Flacco at this pick. However, with the Alabama-Ravens connection and the fact that this is Ozzie Newsome's last draft, I do think that they will stick on the defensive side of the ball and get back to their roots of playing awesome defense. This pick would be big for the Baltimore Ravens.
The Los Angeles Chargers are now on the clock.
You know, while not a glaring position of need, the Ravens are able to get a great inside linebacker here to pair with C.J. Mosley. He has the speed to run all over the field and the instincts to be around the football on every single play.
With the 17th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select defensive tackle Vita Vea from University of Washington. Vita Vea is a mountain of a man at 6'4" and 347 pounds, and we expect him to come in and contribute to the team immediately. Our team was in the bottom 5 in run defense last season, so selecting a massive interior defender quickly fills arguably our biggest defensive need. The defensive line suddenly becomes a strength, featuring Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, Corey Liuget, and now Vita Vea. Vea is almost impossible to move off the line, has an amazing bull rush, and tackles some smalling running backs with just one hand. He consistently overpowers single linemen and has strong enough hands to deal with double teams against the run. He also has great energy playing through the whistle and has the versatility to play in both odd and even fronts. While he will already be an immediate starter, he has so much potential that is still untapped. Vea will be able to improve his footwork and hand positioning by learning from the great edge rushers this team has, and he will have the opportunity to become one of the best defensive players in the league.
The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock.
What a steal at pick 17. Vita Vea is the hands down the number one defensive tackle in the league. The Chargers front four is going to be a nightmare, and I hope the AFC West takes note and starts building that offensive line, or they will see themselves in the back of the pack while the Chargers are in the playoffs next season.
With the 18th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Josh Jackson, quarterback out of Iowa. Jackson is a long, rangy ball hawk who maximizes his size to deflect and intercept passes. He shows great route anticipation, ball skills, and the length it takes to play in the NFL. Jackson has tremendous instincts to high point the ball and cover the opposing team's top receiver. Throughout his 2017 college season, he put together multiple game-breaking performances and was the leader of the Iowa defense. We believe Jackson will have an immediate impact on this team and love the pairing of Shaq Griffin, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, and Josh Jackson. We are extremely excited to get a player of Jackson's level into our building and continue our championship level aspirations. Welcome to the team, Josh.
The Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock.
An obvious replacement for Richard Sherman here, Jack. Definitely skews from their usual approach of not drafting defensive backs high, but he fits the mold at 6 feet tall and would pair great opposite Shaquille Griffin.
I like it. Good pick.
Definitely has Legion of Boom written all over him.
With the 19th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Daron Payne, defensive tackle, University of Alabama. In the past few years, much to the dismay of Cowboys fans, Dallas has refused to put major resources towards the nose tackle position because defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli views the one technique as more of a two-down player in his 4-3 scheme. However, Stephen Jones has not ruled out the possibility of taking one early as long as they possess at least some three-technique traits, which Payne clearly does. Payne's rare combination of strength and athleticism for a 6'2", 311-pound frame not only makes him one of the elite run stuffers in the draft, but it also gives the ability to stay on the field on third downs and in other passing situations. He has an excellent first step for an interior defender and also utilizes a powerful bull rush to push the front of the pocket. In addition, this would allow Malik Collins to move back to his natural three-technique position, where he showed promise with 8 sacks as a rookie. The selection of Payne bolsters the weakest position on the Cowboys' defensive line and gives Marinelli another important chess piece to work with.
The Detroit Lions are now on the clock.
The top wide receivers off the board. Looks like Dallas Cowboys settled for the trenches, but Daron Payne is a beast of a defensive tackle and will do wonders for their front four. And it'll help. The biggest thing it'll do is help Marcus Lawrence get to the quarterback.
With 20th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Detroit Lions select running back Sony Michel out of the University of Georgia. Since the departure of Lions legend and Hall of Famer Barry Sanders in 1999, Detroit Lions have only had 2,000-yard rushers since, Kevin Jones in 2004 and Reggie Bush in 2013. Furthermore, quarterback Matt Stafford has not had a top 10 rushing attack since being drafted by the Lions in 2009, and our rushing attack has been in the bottom of the pack for the past 5 seasons. Adding Sony Michel and off-season acquisition LeGarrette Blount to a running back room that already features Amir Abdullah and Theo Riddick leaves our team with no excuse to not have a potent rushing attack to complement Stafford's ability to throw downfield, as well as take pressure off our quarterback and defense. The combination of LeGarrette and Sony in our backfield will resemble a thunder and lightning 1-2 punch similar to that of the New Orleans Saints. Last year, the Detroit Lions were dead last in the rushing attack, averaging only 76.3 yards per game, while Sony Michel averaged 7.9 yards per attempt. The Lions can't wait to get their hands on such an electrifying player. So with that being said, the fans and franchise would like to welcome you to the Motor City.
The Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock.
While I don't hate the pick, I do think it's a little early for Michel, but I get it. The Lions have been hurting for a running back since the days of Barry Sanders. They haven't had a 100-yard rusher in 4 years. He's been the best player in the country for the last 4 games of the season. And, whoa, we got a trade.
Another trade.
Gosh, sorry, Sony, you're going to have to wait, buddy.
Jaguars are now on the clock.
Looks like the Jags are on the clock.
They've moved up. They've traded. They received the 21st overall pick for the 29th, 93rd, and 129th. Wow, that's another quite a bit of a haul, but we'll see where they go.
Jeff, they don't have many needs. I would think they might be going quarterback here.
With the 21st pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Lamar Jackson, quarterback from Louisville. We traded up to 21 with the Bengals because we feel that Lamar's talent was too great to expect him to fall any further. We feel that quarterback is a position where we could be stronger. We feel our coaching staff can cook up a creative enough scheme to compensate for some of Lamar's shortcomings as a passer. He has great athleticism, and his running ability should get him on the field and contributing sooner rather than later. We feel comfortable using Blake as a bridge quarterback, but fully expect Lamar to challenge for the starting role right away. We feel the combination of Fournette and Jackson should keep AFC South defenses on their toes for many years to come, and that in combination with the top 5 defense that we have sets us up for success and a chance at a deep playoff run not only this year, but again for many years to come. So welcome to Saxonville, Lamar. Glad to have you. The New York Giants are now on the clock.
Makes a lot of sense. Blake Bortles, though he did make it to the AFC Championship last year, it looked like he isn't the guy for the Jacksonville. With his contract really only being a pricey 1-year deal, the most electrifying player in college football has a chance of taking that spot year 1.
With the 22nd pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select tackle Mike McGlinchey from Notre Dame. With the second pick that we received from the Buffalo Bills after our trade, we have strengthened the weakest unit on our team, which was the offensive line. Our team's offensive struggles the past couple seasons have been well documented, including a serious inability to run the ball. We believe that McGlinchey will be able to transform the offense and put those woes behind us. He has been a very steady lineman for Notre Dame, a college that is notorious for pushing out great linemen. McGlinchey has played both left and right tackle in his 5 college seasons and has been solid at both positions. He has great strength and fits a power run scheme perfectly, but also has the versatility to find success in pass protection. He will be an excellent anchor on the right side of the line with his strength and run blocking ability. With Nate Solder at left tackle, Brett Jones at center, and now Mike McGlinchey at right tackle, our team now has the makings of a solid offensive line for years to come.
The defending AFC champion New England Patriots are now on the clock.
It's a great pick for the Giants. They just signed Solder to a huge deal, yes, but they still need help on that right side. Eric Flowers is not the option there. He's a turnstile, and they need someone to protect Eli. I like this pick a lot. Got to give Eli a chance.
With the 23rd pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Colton Miller, offensive tackle, UCLA. After the trade of Brandon Cooks and our compensatory 4th-round pick, the New England Patriots acquired the 23rd overall pick and an additional 6th-round draft selection. The departure of longtime Patriot left tackle Nate Solder left a hole on our offensive line. Miller is a long, athletic tackle with prototypical size. He's a dominant run blocker and will clear lanes for our stable of backfield mates. Miller utilizes his athleticism, power, and wide base and pass sets to dominate the competition. His athletic ability and length give him the necessary ability to mirror defenders and counter their pass rush moves. With the selection of Antonio Garcia in the 3rd round of the 2017 NFL Draft and the new addition of Colton Miller, we'll keep TB12 off the ground and clear up our quarterback's blind side for years to come. We believe Colton Miller will make an immediate impact in our team's success.
The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock.
New England lands one of the most well-rounded tackles in the draft. At 6'9", 310 pounds, typically a slender left tackle like that isn't necessarily considered a road grader. This man is aggressive in the run game. Love the pick. Filled one of the few holes that New England actually has.
With the 24th pick in the NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select wide receiver Courtland Sutton. Following a trade with the Carolina Panthers for the 15th pick in order to acquire more draft capital. Sutton is a junior out of SMU and carries the tremendous leadership qualities we are looking for in a player. He is a big-bodied receiver at 6'3" with a large catch radius and knows how to use his size to keep cornerbacks on his hip when running slant routes and crossing patterns, and is unfazed by incoming defenders. Sutton is also a physical blocker downfield, sustaining his blocks for running backs who make it to the second and third level. The reason we have selected Sutton here is the value of an explosive, top-flight receiver to pair with and learn under Larry Fitzgerald. This pairing will help our offense for years to come. Sutton has the mental and physical toughness we are looking to add to our offense and locker room. We could not possibly be more excited to get a prospect of Sutton's talent to Arizona and continue building our championship mentality. Welcome to the team, Courtland.
The Tennessee Titans are now on the clock.
Did someone say the second coming of Anquan Bolden? You know, the SMU product has been working out with Anquan Bolden, and he does resemble his game a lot. I love this pick for the Cardinals. There isn't a lot of depth behind the position, behind Larry Fitzgerald at the position, and he's not getting any younger either. This is a great pick and a great compliment to the Hall of Fame.
The 25th pick in the NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans have selected linebacker Leighton Vander Esch out of Boise State University. We were very excited to have Leighton on the board for us when we made the selection, and we have been very impressed with him throughout his senior season, and also after the combine process and the interview process, he was rising up many boards in the draft, so we knew we had to take him at the selection. We lost a great linebacker, Avery Williamson, in free agency this summer. We wish him the best of luck to New York Jets, but it's time to move on and find a new young face of this defense. I believe Vander Esch brings that to the table. Vander Esch is a solid player in the passing game and the run game, and I believe he can be the face of this defense for many years to come and be an outstanding football player for us.
The Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock.
The ultra-talented linebacker out of Boise State just got paired with former NFL linebacker and new head coach Mike Vrabel. I think it's the best thing that could have happened for his early young career. Vrabel will be able to mold him into a NFL caliber linebacker like we haven't seen before. The man flashes across the screen in the film room.
With the 26th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Billy Price, offensive guard from The Ohio State University. Although Price was hurt during the pre-draft process, suffering a partially torn pectoral muscle, we are confident he will have a quick and full recovery and be ready to go when the off-season programs begin. Price was dominant during his time at Ohio State, where he played both center and guard. He will be able to come in and play right next to Alex Mack. He is a dominant player in the run game and stands his ground very well in the pass game. He will have an immediate impact on our offensive line and locker room. Welcome to Hotlanta.
The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock.
Kind of an odd pick here, especially with Alex Mack still on the roster with 3 years left on his deal. They could presumably slide him in at guard where, he could definitely play, but there's definitely some guys on the board I'd rather take here if they're looking for a guard.
Not a bad pick. They must be able to value his talents enough to be able to move him over from one spot to the next, but they have 5 starters in offensive line.
With the 27th pick in the NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Dallas Goedert, tight end out of South Dakota State. Goddard is 6'5", with tremendous route running and pass-catching skill. He can work all 3 levels of the field in a chess-piece mismatch. He's too big for safeties and cornerbacks, yet too fast for most linebackers, due to his size and technique. The best aspect of Goddard is his dual ability to both catch passes and block in the running game. He shows good pad level and knee bend when engaging with defenders and plays with good balance. We believe Goddard will be an immediate impact player for our team due to his ability to add to our passing and rushing attack. We are beyond excited to have the caliber of talent that Goddard possesses on our team and part of our franchise. We have high goals here in New Orleans and believe that Goddard can provide a weapon for our offense that puts us over the edge. Welcome to the team, Dallas.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are now on the clock.
After missing out on the Jimmy Graham homecoming and free agency, the New Orleans Saints finally have a tight end who can do both. He's going to be a red zone threat, and he can block in their new system.
With the 28th pick in the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Marcus Davenport, edge rusher, University of Texas at San Antonio. Davenport had his best season his final year at UTSA. The senior racked up 55 tackles with 17.5 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, 4 passes batted, and 3 forced fumbles back in 2017. He recorded 6.5 sacks as a junior after racking up 4 as a sophomore, and he has displayed the versatility to fit as a base 4-3 end or a 3-4 outside linebacker in the pro game. He is strong at the point of attack and pushes around blockers. He has the strength to shed blocks and the quickness to close on backs to make tackles outside of his gap. He has an excellent bull rush, and for a tall defensive end, he is just under 6'6". He plays with very good leverage. He doesn't stand up too high and stays low to get underneath the pads of offensive tackles. With his leverage and strength, Davenport has a very effective bull rush to get tackles rolling backward into the quarterback. The Steelers, who need pass rushing depth behind last year's first-round pick TJ Watt, also need a push underperforming linebacker Bud Dupree at this position as well. Marcus Davenport can be that guy. In a league with so many good quarterbacks, you can never have enough pass rushers.
The Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock.
Steelers gotta love this pick. I think it's great. Per usual, they get the best guy left on the board, and he falls to them to give TJ Watt a compliment on the outside. He's going to push last year's pick, Bud Dupree, or 2 years ago, excuse me, and he's going to push him and make him better at the next level. Like this pick.
With the 29th pick of the 2018 Blitzalytics mock draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Taven Bryan, defensive tackle, Florida. We felt that Taven was amongst a number of suitable options at 21, so we were ecstatic that he was still on the board at 29 after our trade with Jacksonville. We think Taven solidifies ourselves as a top 5 front 4 and also gives us a bit of a safety net should anything happen to an aging Geno Atkins. Taven is a very good athlete from the D-tackle position and further strengthens our promising pass defense with his ability to generate interior pressure. Investing in interior defense has been a trend amongst teams over the past few seasons. For instance, Cox and Richardson in Philly, Darius and Jackson in Jacksonville, and now Sue and Donald for the Rams. We feel the addition of Taven puts us amongst the very best. We're glad to have him. So welcome to Cincinnati, Mr. Bryan. The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock.
I like the pick. The theme of this offseason has been interior pressure, interior pressure, interior pressure. Not only has Cincinnati been able to fall back on multiple picks and collect picks to fill the rest of the holes in their defense, but they've done it with solid players. Love the move. They're collecting. They're going to be able to fill as many holes on that roster as possible.
We got a guy to pair right next to Geno Atkins too. Oh, we got to trade. We've got to trade. All right, looks like the Colts are moving up.
Now on the clock.
I wonder what for. All right, what do we got there for the picks, Jack?
They're receiving the 30th pick overall for the 34th and a 2019 fifth rounder. Not much.
No, not much.
Let's see where they go.
And with the 30th overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Darius Geis, running back from LSU. After careful consideration, the Indianapolis Colts have decided to trade their 36th and 104th overall picks for the Minnesota Vikings' 30th overall pick. We feel like Geis can be our true franchise bell cow back. He'll be able to immediately come in and make an impact on our offense, taking a load off Andrew Luck and making defenses stay honest and respect our run game. Geis will be the perfect complement to our 4th round pick last year, Marlon Mack. Geis is an aggressive, downhill runner who isn't afraid to run through players, but also has the breakaway speed to make those big runs. One of the most encouraging things we saw from Geis was the fact he saw stacked boxes against him at LSU due to their poor quarterback play. Geis is our future running back. Welcome to Naptown, Darius.
The defending AFC champion New England Patriots are now.
Some might think this is a little too early for Darius, guys. I disagree. I love what Chris Ballard did right here. He finally gets Andrew Luck, his bell cow running back that he has been sorely lacking his entire career. His bruising play will make Luck's life easier and help in multiple ways all across the field. Love this.
Yeah, it's a great pairing for him and Marlon Mack. A little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning. I like the pairing.
With the 31st pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Lorenzo Carter, outside linebacker, Georgia. Carter is an athletic prospect that can play sideline to sideline, rush the passer, assist in the run game, and drop into coverage against backs and tight ends. He served as a pass rusher throughout his collegiate career in Georgia's defensive scheme, but his athleticism and versatility will provide the foundation for him to move from defensive end to stand-up linebacker, acting as a situational blitzer utilizing stunts. Carter is an explosive athlete with the ability to contribute early and effectively. We believe he will become an impact player on all three downs. Although he may be raw, Carter's athleticism gives him the ability to be an every down player in our system. By pairing the playmaking outside linebacker with Dante Hightower and our other role players, we believe our front seven will have an immediate uptick in production, with the versatile Georgia prospect serving as an ace in our defensive scheme.
The world champion Philadelphia Eagles are now on the clock.
The Patriots fill multiple positions in need, and the most important positions in need with their first two overall picks. Left tackle and edge rusher. I think Lorenzo Carter, though he is raw, he has 15 collegiate career sacks to go along with a nice edge rusher.
He's very versatile too, something Billy B loves. Oh, we got another trade here. Who's coming up to get the last pick in the first round? Looks like our Giants. What do we got?
They're trading the second, 34th overall and 5th. Or the Eagles receive the second and 5th for the 32nd overall pick. Let's see where they go here. Everybody seems to be moving up for skill positions. Is it going to be a running back? Are we going another wide receiver? Could they continue to address the offensive line?
I doubt they need any more receivers on that roster.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select running back Ronald Jones, USC. We traded up to make this pick for two reasons. First, since the Cleveland Browns did not take Saquon Barkley in the first round, they could have been in the market for a running back to pair with their newly acquired Carlos Hyde, so we wanted to jump them to ensure we got our guy. Second, drafting Ronald Jones in the first round instead of the second round gives us the ability to pick up his fifth-year option in his rookie contract if we so choose. We only had to give up a 2019 fifth-round pick to move up, one that could be easily recovered if we were to trade back with one of our first-rounders next year. Jones is a quick, explosive running back who is drawing pro comparisons to Jamal Charles. He is a decisive runner who shows a lightning-quick burst through the hole, and he can stop on a dime to change direction. He's aggressive too, as he always fights for yardage and attacks openings. While scouts do have concerns about his size and frame, Jones is the perfect complement to our newly signed Jonathan Stewart, giving us a thunder and lightning running back tandem that fans haven't seen since the days of Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw.
If his attitude isn't an issue, he's a legitimate fix for the Giants' running back woes. They have not had legitimate starters since the days of Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw. And, he's drawn comparisons to Jamal Charles, and what team couldn't use a young Jamal Charles on their roster?
That could be an electrifying offense. I like it. If they can land another wide receiver, possibly sign that Des Bryant that's being rumored, this could be a very, very electrifying offense. With that being said, this is the conclusion of the first round of the Blitzalytics mock draft 1.0. Hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned for more.
What's up, guys? Hope you loved it.